Hi, my name is Matthew Ehret, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Canadian Patriot Review and the co-founder of the Rising Tide Foundation. I've recently purchased and read an incredible book called Who We Are, America's Fight for Universal Progress from Franklin to Kennedy, Volume 1, written by Anton Chaitkin. I'm just, I was completely inspired to record this promotional video because right now Americans need to learn the lessons of their past dynamics and traditions, their better traditions that they should be proud of. They need to learn this more now than ever before. We've come to such a crisis caused largely by the inability for people, of many people, including here in Canada, but obviously people in the Western world with a focus on the United States, to really recall what it was that gave rise to the American Revolution, to the greatest advances in statecraft, in the formation of the Constitutional Convention, run by, in large measure, or led by Benjamin Franklin and his disciples and followers, who carried the torch after he died. People like Alexander Hamilton, Henry Clay, Matthew Carey, Henry C. Carey, and many others, whom Anton is able to really bring to the surface after years of suppression, and the work that these networks were able to do in cultivating things like the Industrial Revolution, including the Industrial Revolution in Manchester, in England, which was entirely done through the initiative of Benjamin Franklin and his very forward-thinking um, grand strategies, which were inextricably tied to his discoveries of electricity and to his work in statecraft and cultivating what later became the American Republic. Um, this is, again, something that is worth fighting for. This really shapes an understanding of the USA as something which is um, definitive, as a nation which should be a role model for other nations to follow, or as was once said by a wise man, a city on the hill, not an imperial nation projecting its power onto the weak, as has become increasingly the norm under certain British influences taking control of US foreign policy mechanisms, as well as economic policy internally, which again, Anton goes through in this book, which you should be reading. Um, but really, as a nation which is capable of providing win-win cooperation, development for its own people in a real sense, based on scientific and technological progress, as well as to its neighbors around the world. This is what Franklin Roosevelt called his good neighbor policy, as one example, which is not premised on empire or, again, a Hobbesian view of zero-sum game. It really was premised on an idea that there were inalienable rights to every human being because of our common heritage as humans, capable of cultivating our potentials in us of creative genius. So again, Anton uniquely does this as no other historian I know has been able to do, in mapping out and creating a real solid story of the dynamic of American history. I look forward to volume 2, and I encourage you, if you're listening to this right now, to immediately waste no time, buy volume 1, study it, internalize its lessons, and share it. So I'll leave it at that.